Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me see. Let me get the chat going. What's good? What's good? What's good, man? Can you guys hear me? Checking in. Are we live? He said Dylan brewing his coffee. Yo, yo. We live? We live? I think so. We got this new system, you know, with the Streamlabs and stuff. So I never quite know exactly when we're live. What's good? What's good? What's good though? Steez was good. Giuliano, Leno. Hey man, shout out to Leno. Early gang Leno, man. This one is big thanks to Leno for lining this one up. You know, he's the one that put us in contact with David and got it set up, man. So shout out to him, man, for real, for real. Yo, yo, yo. Let me make sure my audio is good. Yo, I don't want to be too loud. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, bet. Cool, man. So yeah, man, like I said, dope episode today. Shout out to Leno for helping line this one up. A real dope engineer, man. Real big credited engineer. 2-time Grammy winner. Let's get right into it, man. We got him in the Zoom chat. He's waiting there. So shout out to you, David. I see you, bro. I'm gonna bring you in 2 minutes, man. Just want to give some background here and show the audience some stuff. So yeah, this is his, you know, his IG. If you guys would definitely go tap in, go follow him. It's at David Yungin Kim. I'm tripping. I follow him from CEO Dylan. I haven't followed him from Producergrind yet, so you know what I'm saying. But yeah, 2-time Grammy Award winning engineer, man. Go tap in with him. You can find out a lot about him just on his IG alone. Let's you know, take a look at some of these crazy credits, man. He engineered, I think he recorded and he mixed. I know for a fact he mixed Racks in the Middle. And he's got an interesting story about that too. So we definitely want to talk to him about that. But you know what I mean? Big credits. Look at these. You know what I mean? Big credits. You can check out his discography and they give you just a little bit more details. You know what I mean? Big names, man. Crazy names. We're really excited to get him on the show. It's been a while since we haven't had an engineer on the morning show yet. This is episode 20, by the way. So shout out to everyone, man. Shout out to Early Gang. Man, if you've been here every episode, man. Big shout out to you. I'm gonna do it one more time. But yeah, man. Couple more things just before we get right into it. I checked out, definitely check out his YouTube too, and there's a link to this in the description. I was watching these this morning, man. There's some crazy ones. This YouTube type beat, 2-track YouTube type beat is a crazy. If you guys are engineering at all and you got like clients that are bringing YouTube type beats, then bro, this tutorial is super fire. It shows you how to literally improve a mix from like an MP3 or a wave with some plugins to make the shit punchier, make it hit harder, make it louder, make it just, you know, sound way better than the original mix that the producer bounced out. So man, so many great tutorials, and these are, man, some of these are slept on, bro. Like we're talking about like 1.3K views, so you can go absorb and be in the 1% of producers that are absorbing this content. It's very worth it, man. So shout out to him with his YouTube content. And then last but not least, man, just before we go ahead and bring him in, you know, a lot of times I'd like to give background information and play some clips from his last from people's prior interviews. And this was an important clip that I definitely thought was worth playing before the interview. And yeah, shout out, Leno said those videos literally up my mixing it, bro. It makes me wanna start mixing shit just for the fun of it. But yeah, shout out to Pensado. You know what I mean? Pensado's a real OG. Both in the engineering world and in the podcast world, the music business, producer, engineer, podcast world. You know what I mean? This guy really paved the way for us and guys like, you know, Illmind, Blap Chat and stuff. Man, he really paved the way and started the way for even, man, a lot of like tutorials, especially mixing tutorials and stuff like that. So definitely shout out to them. But I'm going to play this clip right here. Just about the clip. Let me see right here. The clip is about not so much looking for someone to come up with and not like, you know, kind of forcing it, but just like kind of more organic thinking. So I want to know what you guys think about this. I'm gonna play. It's a short little clip.
You know, do you think that attaching yourself to Hit Boy, someone that was already known and making yourself invaluable to him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's something everybody should try to do? Like you've got Ali and Kendrick, you got so many relationships.
Yeah.
It's a true, tried and true, has been in the past. Do you think it's still valid to try and look for someone that you can come up with?
I think looking for it is the wrong approach.
Okay.
Because when you're around these opportunities, one will present themselves. It's about being in those opportunities and just killing it every single time. The thing that got me noticed with Hit Boy is I went on a run for him to Chic Fil-A.
It's a funny story.
This was the fastest Chic Fil-A run of all time.
Ever.
Of all
Historic.
time. Came back, he was like, wait, I didn't even know you left, kind of thing. Like he was in a restroom, came out, and Chick-fil-A was there, you know. And then his manager at the time was like, "What do you do?" And I was like, "I'm an engineer." You know, got my number. A year later, he hit me up to come to his house studio. Yeah. See, it doesn't happen instantly either, you know.
Yeah,
like
that's big too.
You just have to be present for the opportunities. I feel like.
And sometimes.
Very dope clip, man. And you know, this guy came up from interning. Crazy story. You know, he was picking up cigarette butts. I'll let him tell the story, but definitely check out the Pensado interview too if you guys want to know more after this interview. But I think that's all I got. Oh yeah, one more thing. So man, if you guys haven't, go ahead and join Text Gang. Shoot me a text. And it's literally this new platform I'm on. Shout out to Community. It's the same thing. I know you've been seeing guys like Gary Vee and Charlie Rockin and stuff give out their phone numbers, and you know, it's a real phone number, so the phone goes directly to my phone. And you know, when you first put in the phone number and text it, you'll get like a link, like with a bot message saying like, "Hey, appreciate you, you know, fill out this form so we know more about you. We can add you to our contact list." And then from then on out, literally anything you text comes directly to me. And you know, ask the guys in the chat from people I try. I mean, I think I texted back like 90 to 95% of the people, and there was like 140 people that joined from yesterday's live. So man, go ahead and then type early gang if you're part of the early gang and you're here, you know what I mean? So you can be on the early gang list, because you know I'll send out some special stuff to the early gang guys. But yeah, man, it's pretty dope. Just another dope way for us to connect, and comes directly to my phone. So please tap in with me on the Text Gang. But man, let's go ahead, let's bring David, Yungin Kim in, man. Also, too, real quick, live Q&A, as you guys know, same routine as always. I know there's about 90 of you guys already in the waiting room, so we'll do our thing with the interview for about 45 minutes. Usually, sometimes it's more than that, but you know, after about 45 minutes, we'll start bringing you guys in for live Q&A, and we'll get it going. So let's get it, man. Let's get a warm welcome for David, man. Let's blow up that chat, man. Let's get the emojis going. 100 emojis, fire emojis, go crazy. Yo.
Hey.
Yo, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show, bro.
Appreciate you. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir, man. I know it's early for you, man, and the West Coast. You a late night guy, or you an early morning guy?
I'm a late night guy. I usually sleep like 4, but I went to sleep a little early last night.
All good, man. We appreciate you, man. Shout out to the early gang members. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. One more time, man. Shout out to Lano too for you know, introducing me and
yeah,
dope, man. But yeah, man. So you know, I'm definitely very familiar with you know, I watched your Pensado interview. You know, I know about your credits and stuff like that. Crazy stuff, man. Definitely looking forward to getting some gems out of you and hearing your come up story. You know, that's one thing we're big on this show is, you know, hearing that come up story in detail. We don't want to skip over. We don't want to skip over the bad times and the broke times and all that stuff. We want to get all that. So let's start, man. I know for you, your first love was football. Was that like your first dream?
Yeah. I played football probably since I was like 6 years old, and I always dreamt of being like the first full Korean in the NFL. You know, hoop dreams.
There's never been.
Nah, not a full. I mean, we got one now. His name is Young Ho. Cool Young Ho. His name is Cool Young Ho, and he plays for the Falcons. He's a kicker, but
he's here in Atlanta. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, that's an interesting fact, bro. I never knew it was that That I never knew it was like that. So
Yeah.
so you're playing football in high school. You weren't into music at all or nothing like that?
I mean, I grew up in a pretty musical family, so I was always around it. I just didn't know that it would be what I'd be eventually doing. You know what I mean? I didn't know it was a passion until later on. So like a lot of people think that, you're latched onto something early on, and that's what you're gonna be, and you have to fulfill your destiny, but that's not it. Like you can bounce around, you can try things until you finally find what you really latch onto and what
For
really
sure.
resonates with you. You know what I mean? Because like
Definitely.
some people, like they use that as an excuse. Like, oh no, I'm not musically talented. Oh no, I wasn't brought up this way or that way. But when you stumble across it, if you have that mindset, you will never let it in. You know what I mean? You'll never be able to receive the blessing. So um, for me, I played football my whole life, and in my senior year, I was all CIF. I was gonna go to a D1 school, but my senior year, I broke my back. Uh,
Damn.
weightlifting, we were doing box squats, and I was on my last rep of the day, and I went down, sat on the box. My legs were tired, so I started using my back. Pop like my L7 lumbar.
Shit. I didn't even know you could do that. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Freak accident. But I mean,
So
that's
like
to add
was it
to it.
not to stay on the topic, but was it like a almost like borderline paralyzing? It could have been something like that, or
Not really, because it wasn't impact driven.
okay,
It was more like my vertebrae. Two of them, they had too much pressure against each other, so
okay,
like ended up like cracking. But
yeah.
it wasn't like a back break or anything like that.
Shit, were you on like bed rest? You couldn't walk for a
Yeah,
while, or
I was on bed rest for like 2 months probably, but
wow.
those 2 months, like probably some of the hardest times of my life. Uh,
What were you doing at those times? Were you still going to school or
crying
crying?
a
Hey man,
lot. Yeah,
appreciate the honesty, man.
yeah, man. Like, bro, I wanted to kill myself every day because
Damn.
17 years of doing one thing and wanting to do one thing, and then it's gone out the window in one split second. You know what I mean?
So the depression wasn't from bed rest. It was like, oh shit, my dream is over.
Yeah, it's from the uncertainty.
Yeah.
Like, what am I gonna do now? Like, my life is completely over. And of course, it's such a foolish thing to think about when you're 17 and you're saying your life is over. I think that's one of the defining moments in my life, because that's when I found out that I can get back up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because failure is one thing, but when you understand that you can get back up from failure, that gives you the confidence to keep going. And then you just stack up little W's here and there, and all of a sudden, like, nothing can phase you.
Yeah. So after this, after I'm sure there was a while where you were kind of just like you didn't want to hear nothing. You were just down. But what was music like your first like idea, or like were there some other ideas that you were bouncing around with, or
Just like everybody else in this that's watching this, I used to rap, right?
okay,
I used
okay,
to
bet.
dabble, right?
Yeah.
So I had a little group of my homies, and I was the one to always record them. And at that time, we had Adobe Audition. We used
Okay,
to
yeah.
record on our little Logitech microphone,
Yo, swear to God, I had
long
one.
knockings, made of pop filter, that kind of thing. Um, but I was the one recording, and I kind of that's my introduction to engineering,
Okay.
where uh, I didn't know that that world existed. And I've always been like a very technically acute person, and I've always been into computers and things like that. So it kind of made sense. Like I was curious and I wanted to know more. So I went to college for 2 years, and then I left to go to Musicians Institute in Hollywood, their recording engineering program.
Okay.
So I
What was the
enrolled in there.
what was the college original venture? Like what was
Cal,
the degree?
Cal State Northridge.
What was the degree that you were
Oh,
pursuing?
business management.
Oh, okay. And then
Bullshit.
you're like you're like, yeah, this ain't for me.
Yeah, it
Drop
just didn't
drop.
resonate.
Okay. Did you drop out or you just like not renew after 2 semesters or whatever?
I was on the verge of dropping out. I'm not gonna lie. So
Yeah.
I left before that happened.
Okay, bet. And then the Musicians Institute. I'm actually not familiar. Tell me a little bit more about that.
So in LA, there's a couple recording schools. There's LA Recording School.
Yep,
There's
familiar with them.
Institute. There's SAE.
Yep.
And maybe art and
Art
those
Institute.
are probably Art Institute, maybe, but those are probably like the top 3-4 engineering schools.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you go there pursuing engineering?
And at that time, I didn't really know much about it, but I just wanted to take a chance because I was kind of at wit's end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ran out of options, so I'm like scrapping for things to latch onto. Right. And the first day of school, I was instantly hooked. Right. I came back and I was talking my head off to my mom's, and she was like, "Yo, I never heard you talk that passionately about anything."
Damn.
Especially about school.
Yeah.
So fast forward a year, because the program is only a year long. Fast forward a year, I graduate top of my class. I used to literally go to school on Monday morning, and I'll come home on Friday night because it's a 24-hour facility.
Oh,
right.
Shit.
I'll find like a practice room or something to sleep in for a couple hours. I'll wake up, and they had like workstations in like the classrooms. They have Pro Tools and things like that. So I'll just go over the lessons again and again. They'll give us sessions. I'll mix the sessions over and over, or I'll practice the hotkeys that we learned that day over and over. And I did that for a whole year. You know what I mean? I would take a bag Monday, come home Friday, and
Damn.
I basically lived there.
So you were in love. You were obsessed with it.
Yeah, first time I was that passionate about anything other than football.
Dope. And so I know a lot of guys, you know, especially now with the YouTube world and stuff like that. I get mixed opinions. I get people that say, "Man, nah, don't go to recording school. It's kind of a waste. You can learn it all on YouTube." Then I hear guys like, you know, that it was a great thing. Where do you?
I like to
in that?
think myself as an optimist, so I would say that the benefit of going to a recording school or engineering school is the network and the solid foundation.
Okay.
Because that equipped me to be able to understand things a lot faster. Because once you have the base education, it's kind of like you can watch something on YouTube, you can watch a new technique and understand like exactly what's going on,
Okay.
or understand why they're doing it, you know?
Yeah.
So instead of copying like presets or doing exactly what the YouTube or the tutorial is doing, you can kind of like put your own spin to it. And I think that's what school gives you, first the network and then the base knowledge.
And then it sounds like for you, it was also like an oasis, or like a you know what I mean? Like you could go there. Like maybe if you were just at home trying to learn it on your own, you might have been like, yeah, this is cool. All right, whatever. And then gave up on.
I'm the type to need that catalyst. It was like the escape, you know what I mean? If I'm at home, if you're in your comfort zone, you're never gonna get shit done, period. And I applaud people that can work from home, but I'm not built that way. I tend to get lazy if if I'm at home.
For
so
sure.
I've always been the type to need to get a, you know, kickstart or from something, whatever it may be. I need to be intrigued.
Yeah. So you go in there, man, and then you know you're approaching graduation. What is like your vision, or what was your plan at this point?
Bro, I felt when I graduated, I felt like I was on top of the world because, like, for the first time in my life, I accomplished something that I wasn't sure of. You know what I mean? And I graduated top of my class, so I was feeling myself. And my plan was go get an internship, intern for a little bit, become an engineer, and then take off from there. You know what I mean? I always wanted to latch onto an artist because, you know, I saw Drake and 40, I saw Guru and Jay-Z. At that time, I don't know if Mike Dean and Travis was popping like that, but that's the route I kind of wanted to take. But upon graduating, bro, I couldn't find a job for 2 years.
Mm.
2 years, bro. So the feeling that I had when I broke my back, that feeling was back.
Damn.
Because
You couldn't
now,
even get an internship?
bro, nah. But to be honest, I didn't really apply to a lot of studios. I applied to Chalice was like my destination. I needed to be there.
Okay.
So I applied there like religiously every month.
So you were set on that location.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, go. I didn't mean to fast forward. You know what I mean? So you said you were back in that like dark times for you, man. What was that like?
Bro, it was a feeling of familiarity because I worked so hard to be somewhere of where I thought was a successful level, and then to not benefit from that, or to not be able to prove to everybody that I can stick with this and not do a 9 to 5 to make a living. I really wanted to prove people wrong. And at that point, I didn't feel like I did it. You know what I mean? I felt like I failed myself. I felt like, all the people that have been patient with me, supporting me, I let them down.
Mm.
I don't know, man. It was a super dark place. And for 2 months, or for 2 years, I was semi-focused. I was really angry, and that's what motivated me. Because what I felt at that point was my hardest wasn't hard enough. My best wasn't good enough, so I have to get better.
Mm.
So I didn't see nobody for those 2 years. Like, I was in a state of depression, but I wasn't depressed doing nothing. I was depressed fucking working.
Gotcha.
Whatever I can get my hands on, I'm working on. Like, I'll record people for free in my bedroom, things like that.
Okay, so you're doing shit like that. What were you doing like for money? Did you have a job at this point, or?
Bro, I was doing anything. I was doing anything I needed to. So yeah, I just leave it at that.
All right. I guess we can use our imagination for that one.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you know what I mean. So that, I guess that indicates that you've had some hustle. You've always had some hustle, which is, we like hearing that on the show. So yeah, man. So you finally caught a big break though and got an internship.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I finally caught an internship, and the way that I obtained this internship was I was sick of just waiting. So I went on Chalice's Facebook, went to their list of employees, and I cold messaged all of them like, hey, do you guys know if Chalice is hiring, blah, blah, blah. And then one dude, his name is Josh Sellers, he's still there. Shout out to Josh. I do this every single interview. He replied back and he was like, yeah, I think we're hiring, just submit your resume and I'll let them know that you're my friend.
Mm.
I don't know, dude, good Samaritan. And then I got the interview, got the internship, and then for 6 months it was an unpaid internship. And it was my introduction to that world, right? Because you never know what you're walking into. Or you hear from school and things like that, but actually going through it is kind of like, oh shit, like I can't even go into the studio, right?
You weren't even allowed in the rooms at this point.
I don't get to touch no gear. I don't get to talk to any of these celebrities that are walking by. Like maybe just a conversation like in the hallway or something. But at that stage, you overstep your boundaries, you can be gone quick. You know what I mean? Like all it takes is one complaint. Like, yo, this dude's weird.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be, you're expendable, 100%. Right. So that's how my duties were. I would work the 9 to 6. I would get there at 9 a.m. I would sweep the floors, pick up cigarette butts in the parking lot, basically clean up the mess from the night before.
Yeah.
Go into the studios, vacuum, buff out the hallways, and literally I'm just cleaning from 11 or 9 to probably 11. And then 11 o'clock, that's when certain clients are already there. Lunch rush starts 11 to like 12, 1. I'm just doing runs.
Using your own car and your own gas?
Yup.
Wow.
Yep.
So you got to come do backbreaking cleaning work and provide the gas
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I was fortunate enough to have been an employee at Chalice where they gave us like a gas check every month,
Oh, that's cool.
kind of supplement. Because man, if you're not paid and you gotta pay for your own gas, that's
Yeah.
backbreaking.
And you're talking 9 to 6. That's a full-time job. Like,
Exactly. So yeah, I'm doing that. So come 1 o'clock, I'm cleaning up the mess from lunch rush, right? I'm making sure the toilet papers are stocked, the paper towels are stocked, there's enough cups, snacks, things like that. Basically restocking and maintaining the studio. And then once 5 or 6 hits, you're winding down, getting the studio ready for the next shift to come in. Uh, Once it hit 6 o'clock, like I would try to do anything to get into the studios, because Chalice had a policy where if you're an assistant or if you're anything from a runner to an engineer, you get to use downtime in the studios as
That's
they're
cool.
available, right? So I would try to make friends with the guys there, and if they're using downtime, I'll try to peek my head in and like try to be a fly on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I've been in the studio at school, but it's completely different workflow. I would say 90% of my knowledge I gained from the real world.
Mm.
10% maybe that foundation was from school.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe even less.
Yeah.
But
Shit.
yeah, still that 10% allowed me to, learn, absorb the 90%.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So I would try to be in there as much as possible. And like, this was also a hard time because I'm unpaid. You know what I mean? I have a couple dollars saved up, but at that time, I'm already, how old was I? 2011. I'm already 24.
Mm.
My friends are wilding. That's when everyone's partying. That's when people got starting to get good jobs. So the homies are wilding, going to Vegas, things like that. I can't even go because can't afford it. First, no time. Second, I remember going to like birthday dinners and not being able to afford the restaurant, so I'll eat a hot dog from 7-Eleven before I go, and
Wow.
and then say that I already ate.
What was driving you at this point? Because I feel like, man, a lot of people aren't built for that.
Bro, proving them wrong. That feeling of being so low, I didn't want to go any lower.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So I've always been a very patient cat where I can see the long run.
Mm.
It's not about momentary success, because like momentary pleasure, it only lasts for a moment. You know what I mean? I'm trying to build something a little sturdier.
I like that.
So I let all that like frustration kind of fuel me. And instead of letting me down and putting me in a dump, I didn't want to feel that again. So that was my motivating factor. Like, hey, bro, I had homies like that had weed clinics at 24 telling me that they can give me a security job.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like my best friends. I'm like, yo, y'all don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing this shit for money. Like, just because I'm working for free right now doesn't mean like this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life. And,
Bro, I love this story so far, man. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Bro, I had a huge chip on my shoulder, but I put it on myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people need to find motivation. I put that shit in my backpack and I just carried it every day. Because bro, going up a mountain without weights versus going up with weights, you get up there, you're gonna be a stronger person.
Man, this man with the jabs, man. I gotta hit the
Right?
jabs.
That's how I looked at it. So, fast forward to my first break, going from intern to a runner.
Yeah.
There was a guy that I was hired with as an intern, and we both got the job as a runner, even though I felt like I deserved to be the only guy.
Yeah.
He was like a charmer. Okay. So, and we have 2 female managers. So that being said,
so he had the personality going for him.
Exactly. So now I'm a runner, which just means I'm getting paid a little bit to do what an intern does.
Okay.
But at that time, it was $9 an hour. I was maybe making like $1,000 a month, 1,200 a month,
So it's something though.
but working full time.
Yeah. And you're in LA, so it's like that shit don't
Exactly.
go too far.
But the benefit was now I get to kind of peek in the studios,
Okay.
right? There's like a guideline thing that you have to once you pass like this test to get into the studios, they let you use it on your own, and they encourage you bringing people in and like supplementing your income and things like that.
Oh, so you can bring in clients and okay,
Yeah,
that's pretty
yeah.
cool.
Of course, there's rules like you can bring in probably 1, 2 people at a
Okay.
time, that kind of thing. But that was my aha moment, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna utilize this like nobody else has done it before. So I basically Monday morning is when downtime schedule opens. I lock that bitch down.
Mm.
Whatever studio's open, I'm in there, right? And the same mentality I had when I was going to school, go Monday, come home Friday, I repeated it. Let's try it again because it worked the first time.
Mm.
And since I was familiar with it already, it was a little bit easier for me to go through. And like sometimes I don't even need a goal to reach out to. I just like the process.
Okay. Yeah. Hell yeah.
And so I did that, and that's when I met a lot of people, and that helped me get ready for when I became an assistant engineer. So I was a runner for 4 years,
Wow.
4 years of just thugging it, bro.
And
9
you
to
didn't even care, like not even having light at the end of the tunnel, like you said. You were just in love with the process.
yeah. I mean, I can't lie. I probably almost quit like 1,000 times.
I heard you talk about you're like, yo, there was almost times where you were walking up to the manager, then you're like, hold on.
So I'll be at the door, dog. I'll be at the door, like, if I do this, then everybody's right that doubted
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it always goes back to that. Always goes back to that.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah. And it's like, man, I want to make my parents proud. I put them
Yeah.
through enough shit. They've supported me. So I got to make this work. You know what I mean? This is like that last ditch effort. So it always came back to that. That was what kept me there.
Okay.
Everybody needs a reason to stay firm, and that was my reason. And then fast forward 4 years. 4 years, it was hard, bro. Because every day I'm looking at people on Instagram. There's engineers on Instagram that happen to be with an artist that just blew up. You know what I mean? They've been engineering for a month, and now they're making X amount of dollars, and they got platinum plaques, and they got all these credits. I'm like, damn, bro, I've been doing this for 4.5 years already. Like, when's my shot? But all of that prepared me for when my shot came. And so when there was one day an assistant engineer called in sick, and Sandra, my manager at the time, she was like, "Are you ready to step up?" Like, I've been waiting for this shit, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
And so I assisted that session, and then when the assistant came back, it was kind of too late because now that the client kept requesting me. But that was my foot in the door, and that was me showing my manager that I can do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what I wanted, because this is, I actually had wrote this down. What were you doing that made them want you and made them request you?
Just knowing my place in the room, first of all, not speaking out of place, not being too assertive or annoying.
Okay.
But also being helpful when they need something. If I would see, like, if the artist was drinking tea and their tea was getting low, I'll run over there, grab it, and be like, "Hey, do you want more tea?" Things like that, where their session is seamless and they don't have to think about anything other than music. Like, if one of the artists, like, "I'm hungry," I'm already there with the menu book. What would you like? What are you in the mood for? You know what I mean? Things like that.
Now, I think so. One question: do you think that maybe the guys that have been in that position for a while, they can start to get comfortable and they start to be less on it, and then you're ready, you're hungry, so you're like, I'm gonna go above and beyond, so that you.
Yeah, and I think for that very reason, there's no bad blood between us. Because when you see someone just want it more and do something that you're not willing to do, you can't hate on that person.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
So I think that's what got me there.
So yeah, I mean, so advice as far as advice on doing well with internships, like the stuff you're just talking about, going above and beyond. Any other maybe even some things that to not do when you're doing an internship?
Um, don't spam your music. don't don't try to play music for for artists until it's time for you to be in the studio.
Okay.
Know when that opportunity is meaningful, because that person has to respect you for them to even give you the time of day. You know what I mean? And even if they do listen to you, to your music, it's kind of like, oh, that's cool, unless you have something of value to them, which
Yeah.
is respect. I would say, stay in your lane, but also don't be scared to seize opportunities. Like, if you see that there's a relationship that can be formed,
Okay.
don't be shy, don't back away from it because you think that it may, ruin your chance. So it's a it's a
Fine
hard
line.
thing. It's a fine line. It's a hard thing to balance.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think being humble and knowing that your hard work pays off, that'll give you the backbone, the structure to make good decisions,
Mm,
right? But I think, man, going 100% in anything you do serves. I mean, that's the best advice I've ever gotten in life. You know what I mean? Unless it's something that's detrimental to you, of course. Some people take it too literally and they just go 100% in everything in life. But I mean, anything that's meaningful to you that you want to achieve,
mm,
gung ho, like really mean it. Show people that you really want it and that you deserve to be in that spot.
definitely. So yeah, man. So so now you're finally in the room now, and then I guess what happens next?
Bro, being an assistant had its own challenges, because as a runner, you're running all over the place, right? So you kind of have movement. But as an assistant engineer, bro, you're sitting in the back of the room, and unless they need something, like you're just posted,
Okay.
right? And you don't want to be rude and be on like your laptop, like have headphones on, because then you can miss something that they need.
That's a big
The
jump.
last thing you want is for them to, yo, someone go get them. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
That's the last thing you want, because then it becomes, yo, you can be outside. That's cool. Then there's your chance. You know what I mean? So you got to be
Important.
attentive while not doing nothing. So that has its challenges, man. Like I'm not the type to be able to sit around and do nothing. So that really tested me.
Mm,
That really like put me in a crazy place, because my mind is just going nuts, but my body has to stay still, you know. And I want to do shit. I want to learn. I want to advance and progress every single day. But for a while there, I felt like I hit another roadblock, right?
mm,
And it's human nature, man. We get to a level and we kind of get comfortable in that level, and we want more and we want more, right? But I try not to let that be the dictating factor, and I kept going 100% as hard as it was. And then once I got the opportunity to engineer, I think my first session ever was Jamie Foxx, just a
shit.
recording. Yeah. Uh, Again, bro, the engineer that was in front of me, he took a 1 month vacation to Europe.
Mm,
So guess who got all of his clients for 1 month?
wow.
And in that month, I was like, okay, this is my chance. If I go crazy for this month, I can lock down these clients for a lifetime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then from that month, I still have people hitting me up. Like
Wow.
I worked with like Keisha Cole that month. I worked with Jamie Foxx that month. I worked with uh, John Legend that month.
Damn.
Yeah,
It's a big
bro.
month.
And a lot of the clients, like they were repeat clients. They would request me from my manager, and it kind of got ugly a little bit, because it's like, well, why is he getting all these sessions? He's not officially an engineer. I I mean, they're requesting him, bro. They can't
Right.
do we can do about it, you know.
Yeah.
That's
hell
how.
yeah.
That's
You gotta
how.
respect it.
Right. That's how I got my foot in the engineer door. But bro, peep, the whole time these 4 or 5 years, I've been in the studio after my shift every single day.
Yeah.
So when the engineering opportunity came, bro, I was already very well versed.
Yeah.
I was prepared. So I think, you know, one of my favorite quotes is luck is when preparation meets opportunity, right?
Mm.
Because a lot of people are quick to say, "Oh, he's so lucky. Oh, he's so lucky he was there. Oh, he's so lucky
Yeah.
he's."
Right.
But shit, what does luck mean? You know what I mean? That means I was prepared when the opportunity came.
Hell
So
yeah.
a lot of people have the opportunity, they just aren't ready for it. And
Mm.
that's when the excuses come out. Oh no, it's because I don't have. Oh, I don't have this gear. Oh, I didn't go to school, but you didn't prepare hard enough. Ultimately, I don't. I mean, there's always reasons, but
Mm-hmm.
when things match up uh, that perfectly, when your hard work finally gets validated with the perfect opportunity, you still got to deliver, you know? And like, I feel like I did a good job of doing that.
Hell yeah. I want to cuz we kind of we talked about you know, using that downtime and that free time to your advantage, and on the Pensado interview I know you talked about how you would ask, like in the downtime you'd ask if you could sit in on sessions, and you'd ask like the engineer like kind of tips and advice and stuff like that. How did you go about doing that?
So that was more when I was assisting. So when I was an assistant engineer, um, if I get a second to ask the engineer, let's say the artist goes to the bathroom or they're eating lunch or something, and I noticed the engineer was doing something either with the hotkey or something like an effect or something like that, I will go up to the engineer when time is, you know, available, and I would just kind of be like, hey, how did you, if you don't mind me asking, like, how did you copy that to? How did you fly that hook so fast or something?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, most people you ask that respectfully, and if you're already in the room and you've done something for them, it's an easy ask. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh, watch this, Option D or Command D, and then you can just duplicate the whole region. And you're like, oh, crazy. And then I'll go write it down.
Yeah.
When I do have downtime, I'll come in and then I'll try it myself.
And practice it.
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah.
Damn, you really wanted this shit.
Bro.
But I think that's big too, because I've even read too, like when you ask people stuff like that, it almost is like a psychological thing where they're like, oh yeah, I'll show you. Like
Yeah.
it actually satisfies them.
Yeah, it's endearing because from the psychological standpoint, this might sound fucked up, but it kind of establishes them as the
teacher, the master.
teacher. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? When you submit and you ask them something, it's kind of like, oh, you're asking me something. That means you think that I'm, you know,
Yeah, nah,
this
that's big.
level. Yeah.
Yeah, don't think that they're gonna be like, bro, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Don't be scared to ask people for shit. I mean, I know it's different from producers, right? You can't be like, hey, yo, let me get that kick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But things like, hey, how did you make that kick hit so hard? You know, for the most part, people are gonna share that.
Hell yeah.
If you ask it.
That's big. But I think, man, bottom line is just you. Like, I mean, you had to be hungry for these 4 years to last those 4 or 5 years
Right.
and make it that far. So damn, yeah. I mean, so shit. So where does the now you're in it. Now you're engineering. Did you get like a raise? Or are you still making the same at this point, or?
As an engineer, now I'm making like 30 an hour.
Oh, fire! So that's big.
Tripled up.
That's
you
big.
know, and I'm finding like, okay, it's starting to pay off a little bit, you know. And during my downtime, I can charge more because the studio doesn't have to get a cut. If I have an artist that wants to come in and record in a $2,000 studio for 500, you know, I can get him in there.
Yeah, and you can advertise like, yo, you know, I've recorded for such and such and such and such. You got, you know,
Exactly.
you got credit.
And what I would leave with is, hey, you know who else recorded in this room? Boom, 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 boom. You know
Makes you
what I mean?
feel, hell yeah, hit him with that.
Yeah, and then the next time it's easier for to latch on.
Fire,
so
fire.
there's a lot of business tactics involved also.
Definitely. So yeah, I mean, so I know. So you how long did you work at Chalice? And I know you eventually kind of went in full time with Hit Boy. And I know there was a legendary Chic Fil-A run that made that happen and stuff like that. Can you tell the people that story and just how you transitioned to working with Hit Boy?
Yep. So I was at Chalice for a total of 6 years. My when I first met Hit Boy, it was probably year 4, my last year as a runner. So I was still a runner when I met him.
Okay.
And the story goes, he wanted a Chick-fil-A run. I was a runner assigned to that run, so I went and took their order, him and his whole crew, and I was like, "Hey, I've been a fan of Hit Boy forever. We're the same age. I'm a big supporter of the HS87 movement. I'm gonna fucking go balls out. I'm gonna try to make this the fastest Chick-fil-A run possible."
Mm.
And granted, there was a lot of luck that day. Chick-fil-A usually busy as hell in Hollywood. There's only one Chick-fil-A in like the Hollywood area.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Miles, right? And that day was kind of cool. It wasn't as busy. So I got to the drive-thru super fast, took all the back streets because that's what I do, right? I'm a runner, so I know all the delivery routes. Took the back streets to Chick-fil-A, got it, came back probably 20 minutes, right? I saw him in the hallway when I was bringing my food in. He was like, "Damn, like, how'd you get back so fast? Like, that's crazy." And then that's when his engineer or his manager was next to him, and he was like, "Hey, what do you do? You know, do you produce? Do you engineer?" And I was like, "Yo, I engineer." He was like, "Let me get your number." You got my number. I didn't get a call for like 2 years, right? Maybe 3.
Damn.
Because I was engineering by the time they called me, and they called me to come in one day. He had an engineer that he was trying to replace. I didn't even know this.
Oh, okay.
Right? He had an engineer that would like invite people over to
Doing
kick
too
in
much.
the hot tub and shit like that.
Oh shit.
And
Just doing way too much.
He'll come to the studio and he's in the hot tub and shit.
Got comfortable.
Yeah, he got comfortable. But basically what happened was he was there, the engineer was there. I didn't even know he was there. And he was like, "David, can you come fuck with this mix?" I was like, "Hell yeah." And then he was like, "Oh, can you record this also?" And I think Drum was there, Drum. And then I recorded it, and he was just like, "Okay, like, when can you come back?" Meanwhile, his engineer's there the whole time. He's like, "When can you come back?" I didn't even know. And maybe a couple of days later, I came back, and it kind of became a regular thing, 2-3 times a week. But then my Chalice schedule was conflicting with it, so he'll hit me up, and I'll be like, "Oh, I got this session today. I can't come." You know what I mean? He's like, "Damn, when can you come?" "Oh, I can come Friday," and then I'll get scheduled on Friday. I'm like, "Oh, I can't come anymore." You know. And then so he was like, eventually it got to a point, maybe half a year. It went on for like half a year, and he was like, What's it gonna take for me to get you full time?" And I was like, I've gotten offers prior to then. DJ Khaled was trying to get me out of Chalice. Keisha Cole was trying to get me out of Chalice, but it just didn't really make sense because how much can you really record? You know what I mean? You're not going to keep me busy the whole year, and I'm not down to leave somewhere that I worked so hard to be at.
Hell yeah. Blood, sweat, and tears went into that job.
Right, exactly. So I was like, "Hey, these are the conditions. Like, I need a salary. Let's do a set schedule." And then that's how it happened. And I was like, "Okay, Chalice, I got a dip. I got an opportunity." And then I left with Hit. Worked with Hit for like 2 years at his home studio in Beverly Hills. And then one day we were at Chalice doing a session, and Sandra, our manager, she was like, "Oh, there's 2 rooms that are available that just opened up, and they haven't been open for 15 years. There was this producer that has locked these rooms out for the last 15 years. And those are the only rooms that are available to book monthly.
Okay.
So basically, you're just getting a room and then you just bring all your shit in, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Every other room is a daily rental or a weekly rental or whatever. So she gave us that proposition, and we're like, "Yo, we gotta come back." You know what I mean? So Hit got the bigger room, I got the smaller room, and that's where we are today.
Fire. Fire.
Yeah.
So what's it, man? What's it like engineering for a producer? Is it mostly like, you know, like you're mixing his beats, or you like mix or recording and mixing like the songs that he's doing with artists?
That's a good question, man. All of the above. Basically, there's not a set schedule of things.
Yeah.
You know, I might go in and he'll have like Big Sean come in, or Travis come in, or Roddy come in, and if they don't have their own engineer, which they usually don't bring their own engineer to a session,
wow.
intimate session. Some do, but for those sessions, I'm engineering, recording, and then when Hit needs to like get like certain VSTs installed or maintenance, I do all his backups. I do all his file management, and Hit also raps too. So when he records something, he'd be like, "Hey," he likes to record himself, but he'd be like, "Hey, can you fuck with this?" And I'll
Okay.
mix all his shit on the spot. So we stay busy. We stay busy.
Do you ever like does he ever make beats like in your side by side, and you're kind of like engineering the session? He's just kind of
For
playing the
sure.
keys and stuff.
There'll be times where, I mean, he's on his rig. He got his FL rig, and then he got his Pro Tools rig separate, but everything's linked together. I made it so anytime he's playing something, we can record it directly.
Oh, that's dope.
Any instrument, he can be playing keys. Someone can bring a guitar and be like, "Hey, can I plug in?" Yep, everything's linked. So,
Dope.
but anytime we can record what they're doing.
Damn.
So if there's a beat that he's already made, or if there's a song that he printed out stems for and we start mixing, he might have an idea, and he might just be inspired and be, "Hey, let me add this real quick," at any given time. And then, all right, here you go. Arm the record track, and then he can record straight into it. So I think giving that possibility for anybody that's an engineer to a producer. Producers don't really need engineers, but you got to make them need you. Provide avenues that haven't existed. Provide a service that they didn't think they needed. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't know that I can have every single thing hooked up in his room like that, where anybody can hook up to the aux and then record straight into Pro Tools. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Anyone can come up and the recording track is already ready. You know, template's already ready.
Yeah.
So just make people's lives easier.
Oh yeah, with the file management.
Yeah. I think that's how you become valuable.
Fire. Nah, man, big gems right there. So shit, man. How? So you know, you're working with Hit Boy now full time, and so Racks in the Middle. I want to talk about that story. And was that your Well, yeah, man. First of all, let's hear that story, because I know you just started off recording it, but you ended up mixing the song too.
All right. So Racks in the Middle, we recorded Roddy first.
Okay.
So what Hit Boy does a lot is have people record songs, sometimes full songs, and then he'll like take off a part or take off the verses and be like, "Hey Nip, listen to this." You know what I mean?
Real producer. I feel like that's real producer right there. Like
real producing. Hit Boy's a real producer, bro. He's not just a beat maker. He puts plays together. A lot of the things that he was credited on this year, he made it happen. If there's two features, they weren't in the room at the same time. You know what I mean? He was like, "Hey, Sean, how about you hop on this Ferg track?" You know what I mean? And then you played for him, hopped on. Same thing happened with Roddy and Nip. Roddy originally recorded a whole song to Racks in the Middle.
Okay.
But Nip pulled up, he muted the verses and played him just the hook, the beat with the hook. And Nip like instantly resonated with it. And then the homie Headache, he's another engineer. He was filling in for me that day. He recorded verse 1. I think part of verse 2, and then I recorded part of verse 2 and then verse 3.
Okay.
The way Nip worked, he kind of took his time with it. He recorded like one verse, lived with it for a day, next day, and then he had another whole nother story to add to that. You know what I mean? And then over 3-4 days, I think he recorded the verses.
Okay.
And then on the last day of recording, when we concluded, I had the urge to like, yo, I really want to mix this. You know, like I don't want this to go somewhere else, and like this one's special. You know, so I normally don't do it, but I asked Nip like, hey, like, can I get the first pass on this? You know, I know you normally go to so and so, but can I get the first pass? If you don't like it, then I'm not gonna charge you. No harm done. But since I'm in the room and I know what the emotion of the song is, and I know the feel of the song, and I know that hit trusts me, like let me get that first pass. And he was like, yeah, for sure. And then a couple days later, we booked Studio B in Chalice, and then we mixed it up in a day, and then the rest is history.
I heard you say it took about 5 hours to mix the song.
Yeah.
Damn. Is that typical? Is that typically how much you spend?
I think it helped that I recorded it
Mm.
because I like to mix while I record. You know, like
Yeah.
that's another thing about being an engineer in 2020. If you're just a button pusher, you're done. Like there's no place for you, right? You gotta be a producer. You gotta be an arranger. You gotta be a vocal coach. You gotta be a motivational speaker. You gotta be some form of inspiration to these people. You know what I mean? Like artists are sensitive too, if not more than the average person, because like think about all the things that they go through every day. You know what I mean? All the criticism they get, all the self-doubt they have.
Yeah.
So it's like to be someone that in their place of solitude, to be another like statue of solitude, I think that brings them into their zone. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, man. That's big right there. I mean, that's a gem. We gotta put that one up on IG.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
But,
it's not talked about too much. I feel like you know, most people are like, oh, you got to be fast, you got to be fire at mixing, but it's way more that goes into it.
Right. You got to be all those things. And I'm sorry, it's a lot. It's a lot to do. But like, as people are getting more talented, right? You got to become more talented. Like, there's no other way to put it. It's like it's Charles Darwin, bro. Survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you adapt with the times. You grow and you change, and you got to be better than you were yesterday, or everybody that's improving, they're gonna leave you in the dust. Bottom line.
And I think another big part of that story too is having the balls to ask. You know what I mean? Just same way when you asking the engineers for tips and stuff.
Right. Bro, every time I do that, I'm sweating bullets. Because you never know, right? If the engineer is an asshole, they can be like, yo, get out of the room.
Damn.
You're trying to steal my shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could have easily been that. But like the people that I've asked, bro, they're some of the big names, like Leslie Brathwaite, Josh Goodwin, he's Bieber's engineer, Fabian Maraculo, he does all of like Gunna, like he does everything from Miami and a lot of shit from Atlanta these days. But he's like Lil Wayne's guy, T-Pain's guy, Rick Ross, legend.
Word.
These guys, like they were cool enough to let me know what's going on. And like I respect them a lot for that. Cause look, I've never had a big brother mentor in my life.
Okay.
I'm the oldest. I have a younger brother, so I've always been that guy. But these little moments were really important to me. Like there wasn't one person I can always go to and get mentorship from. So I had to learn a lot of shit on my own. But then without the help of these people, like I wouldn't be where I'm at.
It's real shit. Damn, man. Fire story, man. Fire story. Yeah, I mean, so shit. We want to get to the Q&A and stuff. I do got a couple more questions. I want to talk about some technical stuff too. First of all, I guess I've heard a lot of producers say that oh, the mix on your 2-track's not important. The engineer's gonna mix it anyways. And then I've heard some guys say like, nah, man. Most of the time, they're just running with the 2-track mix. And I just want to hear, what's your experience? Is it more one way than the other?
I think more and more these days the 2-track mix is very important because that is sometimes what they're married to, like the feeling of the 2-track.
Okay.
There's times where I'll mix a song and then I'll send it back to them. They'll be like, "Oh, the feeling is gone."
I've heard that before for sure.
Clean. I'm like, "What are you talking about, bro?"
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Mix the fuck out of this song, but then they'll be like, "Yo, just try to make it like the reference." And there's even times where they'll just go with the reference and get it mastered. It is what it is. Like I don't take offense to it, or I try not to. I mean, I get butthurt for like a second, but
yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, it's their song, and if you can't help them improve their vision of the song, then it's better off using the song they already had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So in saying that, I think the 2-track, like the better the 2-track sounds, the bigger their dreams can be. You understand? Like if a 2-track is just brick walled and no dynamics and everything's just loud, first of all, there's no room for the artist to rap on. So even when they're mouthing something or trying to come up with melodies, it's just too crazy. They can't find the room, right? So I would say leave some room, but also don't send a 2-track that's like this big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've seen that where I'll get a song and then it's just super small, the wavelength, and it's like minus 10, 15 dB. So don't do that. I mean, have your shit smacking, of course, because you need them to feel the emotion. But I would say invest some time in learning how to mix your 2-tracks.
100%.
You know?
Now, there's a couple guys in the chat saying, what is a 2-track? 2-track is just like when you bounce it out of FL as a wave or an MP3 and you send it to them, instead of like, having all the stems, like the track outs, we're talking about just, when you send a rapper an MP3 or a wave and them just using that in Pro Tools and never asking for the stems. And now I seen you had a fire tutorial where you showed like how to even make a 2-track sound better and punchier and stuff like that. And I definitely encourage everyone to go check that one out, especially if if you're engineering like clients and they're coming to you with like YouTube beats they downloaded and shit like that.
Exactly. I wanted to pave a lane for that because I seen that happen more and more these days.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, there's times where you'll get a 2-track from a big producer, but the song is lost. You know what I mean? The hard drive crashed or it's not available anymore.
So that's all you got.
That's all you got. What are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna sit there and cry, trash the song? Nah, you gotta figure out a way to make that shit bang,
Definitely. And man, just going back on what you were saying too, like I feel like as a producer, you gotta have that mix sound good because a lot of times it's more than just the composition that the artist is like resonating with, you know what I mean? Like it could be a fire composition, but if it's a trash muddy mix, then they'll be like, yeah, next beat.
Yeah,
and that's an opportunity missed.
Yeah. So let's say it's tricky because now producing is, you have to have some mixing knowledge and some mastering knowledge too, because what if they listen to it on their phone, right? And you have your bass loud as hell, it's just gonna be crackling.
Yeah.
It's not gonna sound good. Or if your bass is non-existent, they're not going to be able to feel it. What if they hear it on big speakers and your bass is way too loud? You know what I mean? So these are things that you should consider where people really listen to their beats. Most of the time, studio or laptop, make sure your shit sounds good on big speakers and laptop.
Yeah. And everything else in the middle is just kind of fun.
In the middle, falls in line. A lot of people listen to this shit on their phone, man.
Yeah, man. Same here, bro. Like my MacBook speakers and my phone speakers more than anything. Like these monitors ain't even on right now. Like I like even people cook up on like Bluetooth speakers or just their Mac speakers. It's crazy, you know what I mean?
Right, that's crazy. Or headphones.
Yeah, headphones. Hell yeah.
Headphones, yeah.
What are some good headphones you recommend?
the 770s.
Yeah, the 770s. Okay.
Yeah, those are nice. I like the Focals too. The
Okay.
Spirit Professionals. Those are dope because Focal makes like some dope ass speakers.
Okay.
So those headphones are nice. But I own some 770s and some 880s. I don't really use headphones much, but when I do, I use those.
Okay. Okay. Bet. What about the 990s? You ever tried those?
I haven't tried them.
Okay. I always, because they're more expensive, I'm like, oh, they must be better, but
Yeah,
that's not always the case.
I don't think they'll be that much better, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And then also, man, I wanted to talk about. So this one's big. I've been waiting to get an engineer on the show to ask this one because we've had several producers come on the podcast, and even guys that are managers and stuff like that have said this. They said a cheat code for producers is building a relationship with engineers because that can lead to placements. You playing beats for artists.
Yeah.
What's your reaction to that statement?
I think it can be, but personally, I haven't been in a situation where I could do it.
Okay.
'Cause I get a lot of producers like sending me stuff and like, hey, if your artist needs some beats, like I got you. A lot of the times I'm working with artists, they're bringing their own stuff in, and
Okay.
these days I'm not recording much, and I'm just mixing, so it kind of eliminates the opportunity for me to play people's stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, and like, man, sometimes people get hot, bro. Like, hey, I sent you these beats, you didn't even open them.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, first, I don't need to listen to beats, and like, what do you want me to say? Like, you want me to listen to them and critique your beats?
Right.
They're fire, yeah, they're dope. But like, what do you want me to do with them? I'm not gonna be like, hey, you gotta listen to these beats. Where are they from? I got it in a DM. Like, it's hard to do that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
100%.
Yeah. As much as I want to help everybody, bro. Like, my whole thing is presenting opportunities and putting people on, but sometimes it's just not that easy.
Now, say they want to come at it with a pro, and I mean, when I think when everyone's talking about this, they're talking about doing it, with some sense and not just in a selfish way. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people kind of take that and they don't consider that and keeping it organic, keeping it real, keeping it organic. But so considering that, what are some of the best ways for a producer to provide value to maybe not so much you because you're not recording, but to an engineer that is recording artists? What's the best way to provide value and build that relationship to the point where maybe it could lead to that?
I think offering a percentage that can definitely help, like giving him a point on the song off the top, and also presenting an explanation on what that does. Because a lot of engineers don't know about points and back end payment and percentages and things like that because we never had to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if a producer came to me and was like, hey, I'll give you a point from my end on anything that you get placed, and this can translate to X amount of dollars. Let's say this producer got 1 point on this song and he made this much money off of it. If you can see that information, because that's one less thing I have to research. Because if I get that and I'm not knowledgeable about it, then I'm gonna go on Google and be like, what is a point on
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it's gonna take me 10 links before I find out like what it really means. So if you could present that opportunity and that explanation to somebody right off the top, I think that can be a good hook. Yeah.
I think that's definitely good advice right there. Anything else like maybe even before it gets to that point, like what's a good way to break the ice and even get the relationship going?
Get something mixed by them or make them your client. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I have an artist that needs recording. Like, can I come to you? And then once you record and everything goes smoothly, at the session you can be like, hey, here's a flash drive. Like, just check out my beats, no pressure. If you have any other up and coming artists that need beats, like, let me know.
Hell yeah.
I think that introduction, just that one extra step is essential.
Yeah.
That makes you not strangers anymore, you know?
Yeah. Shit, you've done business. You put money in their pocket. You've connected some dots. You may brought them a regular client now. That's big. And I would even go as far as be like, don't even do it the first session. Do it maybe on like the third or fourth session. Like really, like bring them some gas, bring them some food every session. Like, yo, I really fuck with you, bro. Like,
yeah, I agree. I agree. That's a good addition to it, bro.
Definitely, bro.
Like some bomb ass food, some wings or something.
Yeah, hell yeah, shit like that, man.
You would drive in the box.
yeah, slip slide. Just I mean, shit. I think it just boils down to like, you know, be a cool, good person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you shouldn't even have to like. It shouldn't even be like, oh, I gotta go out of my way to do this. Like, you should just be doing that with people you fuck with anyways. You should just be that kind of person. Like, that's just, you know what I mean? Like, you always want to be like a person that's like, yo, this dude is cool as fuck. I fuck with this dude.
Yeah.
Versus like, man, this dude's an asshole. He comes in here. He's always, it's always about him. It's always, you know what I mean? Can you do this for me? Can you do that for me?
Or why is he here?
yeah. What does he even do? Type shit. He's just annoying. He's just telling me like, you know, turn that up, turn that down, and shit like that.
Yeah. That's the worst, bro.
Backseat engineers.
Yeah, the backseat engineer.
Cool, man. Hey, I appreciate it, man. You got some time to bring some guys in for Q&A?
Oh yeah, come on.
Cool, man.
Oh, it's early, man. I got 2 hours before I even wake up.
Bet it up, man. This is
man. I can go as long as you want to.
We're on bonus time here, man.
Yeah, let's go.
Cool, man. So yeah, if you guys, man, we got a couple people in here already. If you guys want to go ahead, tap in. There's a link in the description. You just got to have Zoom, and we'll be able to add you in automatically. Now, this is my first time doing it on this new overlay setup, so I might have to switch to the other mode, but let's see how it works. First up, we got Wako. And then when you guys come in, you know the drill. Connect that audio as fast as you can, and mute the YouTube stream in the background. Yo, Wako, what's going on, bro? Yo, can you hear us?
Yo.
Hey, welcome to the morning show, bro.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. What's going on, man?
Yo, I'm a big fan of the morning show. I've been on watching like every day this week.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, David, I had some questions for you about sort of like getting started. You know, what's like for someone who's trying to get into working in a studio, what's the most valuable quality or skill that you could bring to an engineer as like an intern?
Just bring value, man. Like, make it so they can't live without you, kind of thing, right? Do something that the other engineers or the other interns or the other runners won't do. You know what I mean? Do something to be noticed. One of the things I did while I was a runner, I would clean the things that people can't reach, right?
Okay.
The ladder, and like, that looks like it hasn't been cleaned in ages. I'll bring a ladder and I'll intentionally stay on that ladder until a manager passes by or some shit. I'll be
so
like,
I can see you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a gem. That's a gem, bro.
Do something that hasn't been done.
Yeah.
Something that's valuable and that they didn't think they needed, but after seeing you do it, that they need.
And so, like, one more question. I've been reaching out to a bunch of studios lately, and I'm basically getting a lot of responses like, oh, we're not like looking for people now, coronavirus and everything.
Right.
And so, and like, I understand, you know, it's tough. You don't need unnecessary people, but like, do you think booking a session there just as a producer would be like a way to sort of like get in the door or something?
I don't know if that'll make them more likely to hire you, if that's what you're asking.
Okay.
But what I would do in your situation is network and find people that need an engineer service. Like, even if it's doing it for free to get some names under your belt or to get some experience. I get that question a lot. Like, how, if you're a beginner or if you're just starting out as an engineer, how do you practice your mixing? Right? I say work for free. Like, there's hundreds of artists that needs your stuff mixed, you know, just ask them for their multi-tracks and mix their stuff for free. And then that gives you something on your resume that you can post on your IG. And now people are seeing you work. And it's like, oh, how much are you? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, hey, I'll do this mix for you. Just tag me. You know,
Okay, word.
things like that. Just do anything you can do to get in the door and to get your practice in. You know what I mean?
Got you. Thank you, man. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Sir.
Appreciate you tapping in, man. Oh, yeah, he just left up out of here quick. Steez, man. Steve said he's got all the engineering questions. Let's get him in here. I see a couple more. JP, I see you're up next, man. You know, just going first come, first serve as usual. Yo, Steez, what's going on, bro?
Yo,
Welcome
what's
back.
good, man? Here, let me mute this real quick. 1 second, man. Yo, how you guys doing? Good morning.
Good morning, man. Doing well. How you doing?
Everybody got their coffee and shit. Hold on.
Bro,
Coffee game.
it's so early. I was up at like 6:30 this morning.
Same, bro. I woke up at 5:30 out of nowhere. I never wake up that, but I was like, I got an interview to do. I don't want to be all puffy face, so I got up. And
Because you're in LA, right?
yeah.
Yep, me too. Yeah, man. So, yeah, here, hold on. I'm just like catching up. It's like 8 a.m.
Come on, man. You're early game, man. You know, you should be used to it by now.
You know, I had to get my coffee going. My question to you, I have a couple questions really. So I know with like pretty much like the last 2 years, it seems like LUFS has like really been changing.
Mm-hmm.
Can you even like speak on like 2 years ago versus like 2020, like the numbers, and like does that even matter? Like, because I don't know, I feel like when you hear Mike Dean's mixes, it doesn't really sound like he's caring about LUFS.
What is LUFS? I feel left out here.
LUFS is like the median. It's like an RMS level where you're hearing the perceived loudness of a mix or a master. So like, you know how if you turn on like a Mike Dean mix, or if you turn on a 40 mix, like a Drake song, they're noticeably louder than everything else.
Okay.
So I think over the last 2 years, the loudness wars have been continuing to go on, and that's a battle we've been fighting since like the 70s.
Yeah.
Because you know, like at the end of the day, people will always perceive more volume sounding better.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's a subconscious thing. That's something even I struggle with, where it's like I want my shit to sound really, really loud.
Yeah.
But there's only a certain amount of headroom, right?
Right.
You can't just keep turning shit up because there's distortion and everything. So like in Mike Dean's case, you can definitely hear some of that distortion come through.
Yeah.
His slammed, you know, just in your face loud. Whereas like 40 stuff, Drake stuff, it still has a lot of dynamics. And like that shit is mind-boggling, bro.
Yeah.
How 40 gets his stuff so loud and still has space in his music.
Pumping.
It's crazy to me. But like over the last 2 years, I think a lot of progress has been made.
Mm-hmm.
If you can consider it progress, because like I mean it's harder to get that, right? Where before only a mastering engineer can get like that. Now it's being passed on to a mix engineer. Another person that's really good at getting his mixes really loud before even mastering is Jason Joshua.
Yep, that was my second guy. That dude's crazy.
Super loud, yeah. And Jason's he's one of the best, man. He's definitely got it figured out.
Yeah, my bad. That's like immediate technical questions at like 8 a.m. But I feel like that's like super important because like even for myself, it's always like trying to find like, am I using like the black box too much? Am I using like, you know, do I need to tail it back on the dry wet a little bit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My take on it, bro, is use multiple plugins put at a time.
Facts.
Like on your black box, don't go above like 60. Like I usually don't even go above 55.
Yep.
And if that, but then I'll add like a Phoenix, I'll add a black box, I'll add L2, and then I'll have like a tape machine. If I really need to get shit loud, I'm gonna do like 4 or 5 saturation and limiting plugins.
Sick.
Just a little bit at a time, but
Like 100 little punches.
exactly. And like I don't like to compress more than like 3 dB at a time. So my kick, I'll compress like 3 dB, and then it'll go into my drum bus, and I'll compress that 3 dB. That'll go into my whole beat bus, and I'll compress that 3 dB. So at every stage, I'm compressing a little bit. And that's bringing the overall volume up.
Damn. I feel like that's a super gem right there. Instead of the like slam it on the early ratio and then just like fix it at the end kind of shit.
Yeah. A slow attack, fast release on everything until you get a limiter.
I'm just like shooting off the hip now because I feel like this is a solid combo. When it comes to like the release on like compressors and I guess limiters too, do you find like the tone coming out more with a longer release tail?
Yeah, I think so, because when you're compressing with a longer release, that's grabbing like the whole sound and then bringing it up. Where if you have a fast release, you're only compressing the beginning of that sound or the loud part of that sound, and then the rest of it you're leaving how it was. So like for an 808, if you have a long release and then you bring up that makeup gain, it's gonna bring up even the tail.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Or something with a lot of reverb, if you have long release on it and you bring up the makeup gain, it's gonna make that reverb sound a lot louder. Like I love it.
Big gems.
I got like 2 more engineering questions, and then I want to ask about the $500,000 stuff just because I'm a huge Dom Kennedy fan.
I actually, Pete, before the chat started, you was talking about Dom and how legendary.
Yeah, man. I feel like the $500,000 stuff is Yep.
Yeah.
My next question, what's your one, do you even use them, but what's your 2 cents on summing mixing? Like the 55, what is that, the 5069 5069 Neve?
Like, are you talking about analog?
Yeah. Yeah, like back analog and then back into the box type shit.
So I have a Dangerous 2-bus.
Okay, sick.
I've fucked with like analog summing mixers, but then at the end of the day, I feel like it's kind of a hassle to do recalls and things like that, because a lot of times if I'm sending a mix and then the client has one little note, you know, oh, can you kick the vocals back in this part 1 dB? If I worked on a song after that song,
you got to go all the way back.
Exactly. I have to the exact recalls. I got to take pictures and things like that.
Oh, hell no.
So for the amount of quality that it brings, I can't justify doing that over and over, because you have to print it every single time, and sometimes with analog stuff it sounds different based on like what time of day it is, how long the compressor's been, or how long it's been on. Things like that. So I don't know, man. I like them, but I don't use them much anymore, even though I do have it.
I feel like because I used to work at Westlake Pro, and a lot of the guys were always like, and they're like obviously like a lot older, you know what I mean? They're always talking about like, it's all in the summing mixer, and I'm like, dude, like I don't think it is. Like it sounds nice, and like you can hear the depth and like image, but like not really. It
does sound better. It does sound better, but then for the convenience factor, I'm going in the box.
Yeah, every time.
Yep.
Speaking of in the box, what's your 2 cents on like Luna and like the Neve summing stuff? Have you gotten into the UA Luna stuff?
They dropped it already? You talking about the UA DAW?
Yeah, I think it's on like version 0.1 or something, but they came out with like right when COVID came out.
Gotcha. I was super looking forward to it, because I got a whole demo at NAMM, because I got a plug at UAD, and they were showing me all the things you can do. Right now at this stage, I feel like it's more of a producing and songwriting thing. So it's more of a production suite than an engineering suite, because I tried to use it the day it came out. I was on it, right?
Yeah.
So excited. There's a lot of things about Pro Tools that piss me off. So I'm like, fuck Pro Tools, Luna. But as soon as I got on, I was like, there's things that I can't do that I normally do on Pro Tools, like route things a certain way. You can't have a bus receive from different tracks. Like if you make an auxiliary, that auxiliary can own it's very it's cemented as an input is this, output is this. Right. And then side chaining, you can't side chain on it.
Right.
Yet. So I was kind of like, oh man, like it did sound good when I just put stems in there. And then I did the analog stuff. It did sound good, but then again, for convenience, since I couldn't do all the other things, I couldn't really get into it much. But I might try just stem mixing, where I just stem out my drums, my music, and my vocals and effects, and then put it in 4 tracks, and then see if it'll sum better.
Yeah, I'm curious about the summing because I'm not quick to switch DAWs, you know what I mean? But the Neve summing, I don't know. I'm always down to watch like the meter move, you know what I mean? And see like what happens.
Intriguing though. It's intriguing for sure.
What are you I want to ask about the $500,000 stuff, but I gotta ask, are you like using the standard like ATC SEM25 with the sub, or are you like what are you working on right now with speaker wise? Are you like a Focal guy?
Bro, I mix on Yamaha HS80s.
See, that's exactly what I needed to hear, dude. That's exactly what I needed to hear.
I love telling people that because there's like the gearheads that are like, oh man, I have $5,000 speakers and blah blah blah. And I'm like, so what have you done? What have you done with those?
I feel that.
Like I love being the guy that's like, hey, I have the same speakers as you do, so it is possible to mix on them.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, can you speak on like courtesy of $500,000 and then $500,000 1 and 2? Like how did that even like come about?
Bro, that's when I was really coming into my own as a mix engineer. There was still a lot of doubt in my mind when I was mixing those things. And I just really appreciate Hit and Dom for trusting me.
Hell yeah.
Especially at that point in my mixing career, where they could have easily been like, oh, we're gonna go to so-and-so. You know, they really, they trusted my understanding of their vision. And then I feel like we executed it. And I feel like every single one gets better and better.
Yeah, facts.
Next one's gonna be crazy, I guarantee you.
I don't know. I thought it was cool because courtesy of $500,000. I mean, just looking at it right now, like Larry June's on there. Like that's like, you know, 3 years later, it's like now he's having his thing. You know what I mean? So either way, I'm about to hop off here. I know like hella people are trying to get in, but thanks for the time, guys. I appreciate it.
I appreciate the good questions, bro.
Thank you, man.
Peace.
Yes, sir.
Like,
shout out to Steez, man. JP.
What's good? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on, bro?
Hey, what's up, man?
Chilling, man. Welcome to the morning show. Go back to
I
the morning show.
appreciate you, man. Yeah, for sure. I've been in the chat. Let me close the YouTube. Let me close YouTube out because I can hear.
Okay, bet.
All right. I'm still good.
Yeah. You in the best studio in the world.
Oh man.
Hey,
what's up, man?
The car is the best studio in the world. If I can just mix in my car, bro, I'd be so happy.
I used to do it. I don't got a laptop no more. I got a little desktop, so I can't even.
I can't lie, I've done that too. But in the inbox days, I used to bring that shit in there.
Yeah, I used to just plug the aux right up into my.
Right.
You know what I mean? Get the going on here. But yeah, appreciate y'all bringing me on here. I just I had a quick question. Basically, I was supposed to start school for engineering at I don't know if you ever heard of Omega Studios.
Mm-mm.
They birthed Young Guru.
Oh, great.
Young Guru graduated from there.
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to start in July, and I'll be taking the courses for a year. But with COVID, all they're doing is online now. So I know an engineer that lives close by. He has his own studio, so I'm paying him to I'm just taking lessons from him because I want that hands-on experience, you know. But my question is, what are some like the intangibles that a good engineer needs?
Mhm.
You know, because I've had opportunities before to like intern somewhere and do stuff like that, but sometimes I get a little, a little discouraged. Like I ain't never really been in the studio with these
All right.
artists and stuff like that. So if you could, tell me about those intangibles, and if you had some that you needed to work on when you came up, I'd appreciate it.
I think what I really had to work on was my patience, right?
Hmm.
Even though I had some patience, it was really tested. Just like how you're saying that you've interned and you've been in these studios, but you get discouraged and things like that. You got to dig deep in those moments and find something, find a purpose, to keep going, because those are the moments that really break you or make you, right? I always feel like the people that are successful go through these moments and they find a way to persevere, right?
Hmm.
So, whatever situation you're in, find a blessing in that situation, find a silver lining, and try to maximize as much as you can. And like you're in the studio with the engineer that's close by, I would maximize those hours. When you're not there, I'll be coming up with questions and things that I'm curious to how it's done. And then so when you
Right.
get in there, you can just maximize it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because if someone's giving you lessons, like that means they're willing to spill out whatever they know and anything that they know to help you. So
Hmm.
I'll go in there like super prepared.
Okay.
Not saying that you're not, but you know what I mean. Just like,
Yeah. Yeah. I get what you're saying.
yeah, just maximize.
Okay. And as far as those intangibles, is it just having the people skills, dealing with
I,
these, people you don't know? And I've
def-
I've been trying to, like, I do things now where I try to put myself in the most uncomfortable situation I can, just trying to get prepared for when I
yeah,
do get
that's
there,
a good
you know?
habit. Bro. That's a great habit to have. Like just being in those uncomfortable situations to see if you're prepared. Like see if you can come out of these unscathed and see if you can come out
Right.
a better person. As far as intangibles go, I think as an engineer, the thing that got me into a lot of rooms was my speed, right? So hotkeys, yeah, understanding different workflows. So if a pop singer comes in, how do I have to act? How do I have to behave versus if a trap rapper comes in or if a country
Right.
singer comes in, right? Being able to adapt in these situations and understanding, like, watch interviews, understand these people. You know what I mean? Like, what
Mm.
kind of moods do they appreciate? What kind of like uh, energies they have, things like that, and then learning how to adapt and become a chameleon in the studio. Um, I think that's an intangible that'll take you very far. But something that you can work on right now in this moment is your speed, because that's
Mhm.
going to help you get noticed. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So
I guess I should have told you I'm not trying to be an engineer, but I want to learn as much as I can so I can apply it to producing, because that's really what I do. I make beats, but I'm trying
hey,
to, I want to learn I want to get that clean mix, and I do want to learn how to record just so I can do it if need be.
hey, 40 is a producer that engineered to become a producer.
Hmm.
40 was a
Right.
engineer for like 10 years before he even told Drake he produced.
Wow,
I didn't know that.
that's crazy.
Yeah, bro.
That's
So
patience.
that's patience. That's really diving in, because my whole thing is don't put yourself in a box, right? Like
Hmm.
even if you're not trying to engineer as a career, fuck it, see what happens. That might take you to a position where you can really be a producer. The best way
Right.
to get the trust of an artist is to be their engineer, bro. And all
Right.
of a sudden, yo, I got beats. You don't think they're gonna listen to it?
Right,
You know what
right.
I
Yeah,
mean?
they were.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So don't
for
put
sure.
yourself in the box. Just maximize whatever you're doing right now, whatever the purpose is. Just be the best what it is.
Okay.
Yep.
I appreciate you, man. And
And
real quick, Dylan, I wanted to tell you, I've been making beats since 2012. 2018, I came to the Producergrind show in Charlotte, and
Fire.
that's when I really started taking it serious like that. That night changed my life, man. A
Hey,
DJ Plug was there. That was
hell
a
yeah.
I met Deaden, that me and Deaden
Yeah, yeah,
still
yeah.
to this day we still get some work in. So
Shout out to Deaden,
I
yeah.
just want to say I appreciate everything you do, man, for
That's
the
fire, man.
community.
I love hearing shit like that, man. And I definitely, man, appreciate the love, man. For real, for real.
Hey, for sure, man. Hey, y'all keep doing what y'all doing. I'll tap into the chat and I'll let y'all soon. I
Got you, bro,
appreciate you,
man.
David.
yes, sir.
All right, y'all.
All right, let's get maybe one or two more, man.
Bro, that right there means more than any plaque, bro.
The love, right?
Bro, the impact that you have, to see that you're making a positive impact and you're helping the next person in line, like that's greater than any individual achievement.
I can feel that. Hell yeah. Let's go. Did we add him in? Meek. Nah, man, I appreciate all the love and support we get from the community, man.
Man,
It's crazy, man.
Hey, if anyone can wake up at this time and support and tune in, bro, that's a different level of love and
Nah,
dedication
for real.
support, bro. Because this is uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Sacrificing sleep and tuning into people talk about something that can help them. Like that's not an easy thing to do, but that's what shows the people that really care and that really want to get it done.
Fact though.
That's what shows. Hey.
Yo,
What's up?
Sideways.
I know. I have my shit on rotation, like I guess.
What's good, man? Welcome back to the morning show.
Yo, how are you guys doing?
Good,
Chilling,
man.
chilling, man.
That's badass. I'm so excited that you guys that you brought an engineer to the show because
Hell yeah, had to.
producing for the longest time, and then I took a hiatus from producing to engineer.
Okay.
So essentially, first of all, Chris Main Beats, David, nice to meet you.
Hey.
I'm from Texas. I have a couple questions. So first of all, Dylan, I'm just gonna get this out of the way. You have the beat contest today. When's the deadline? Because I know it's today for the 29th, but like what time? You feel me?
Yeah, I mean, just get it in by today, and we're gonna announce. So we're gonna do the actual contest on live, probably maybe if not next Wednesday, because I think we're gonna start doing regular how we did the loop contest last night. I think we're gonna start doing those regularly at 3. So either next Wednesday or not at 3, at 6 on Wednesdays. So either next week we'll do that, run that again, or swap it out for the battle. If not, we'll do the loop contest on Wednesday and then do the battle on like Friday or Saturday. So even you got the email, so even if you guys don't get it in by today, you still got time, but it would be nice to get them in.
Perfect. So now for David, so there's a lot of talk with Headroom as far as mixing. I've been touching the producer and the engineer field. So when you produce, generally, I've heard a rule of thumb anywhere from 3 to 6 dBs of headroom. What's your thought about headroom in general, like as an engineer? Because I mix and I like to mix beats because I sell them. So I also don't want to put too much in the master, compress them too much because the engineer at the end. Because I've been tapping both worlds, so I understand both, and I get really like startled there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So when I receive beats, I typically like 3 dBs. Honestly, like as long as it's not clipping, it's cool. Like sometimes I'll get stuff that's already at 0 or -1 dB or -0.1 or whatever. But as long as it's not like normalized and everything's not mastered, there's room to work with it because you can always turn the volume down. You know what I mean? And it's going to be the same as long as it's not smacked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you give me something at -3 dB versus -1 dB, it's the same thing to me because I can just turn it down 3 dB or turn it up 3 dB. You feel me? So as long as the stems aren't clipping, you're good to go. I think more than anything, it's like the most important thing when getting stems to a engineer is sure that if there's a sample in the song, that there's no clicks and pops in them, and properly cross-fading stuff. And other than that, it's like anything goes. You know, mix engineers can work with a lot.
When they're bouncing out their stems, should they get rid of all reverb completely?
I typically like getting the beat exactly how you had it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because that's what the artist wrote to. That's what the artist recorded to. So if I get dry stems, it's like you're setting me up.
Got you. Okay.
Damn. So one more question. What do you think about that? Because you're mentioning summing mixing, which is something that I've been trying to get into a lot, because I think it's more efficient and it makes sounds come together more, as in like you have your melodies, you route them out to one bus, your drums out to one bus, the bass to one bus, etc. To one bus. So do you believe in like console mixing, like not analog consoles, because not everyone has that, but like me, I have like this soft tube console 1.
Oh, we lost your video. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Okay, so I have the soft tube console 1. It's basically like, it's like a $600 thing, and it just comes with like plugins. It comes with like an SL4000E channel strip, and then I also have an API one. And I like using the summing mixing and just running it through console 1 and just doing it like that. Like, what do you think about that? Or do you like more like individual plugins? You get me?
I like summing, bro. I like summing because not everyone has a 50 channel mixer. You know what I mean? How many channels does your studio?
It has like, you could do like 40.
40. Okay. So in that case, you can do it individually, but you probably like the sound of your buses. So if you like the sound of your buses, just take those and sum your buses. You know what I mean? Music, drums, vocals, just do it like that. That's the way I would do it, especially for recall purposes. If you do it all separately, it's going to be hard to bring all of them back exactly how you had them. So just minimize your margin of error and margin of like spending time where you don't have to spend time, because ultimately speed is king these days. You know, set up your shit so you can kind of plug in and go.
Yeah,
that'll maximize your profit and maximize your workflow.
Do you still use like channel strips though, like the 4000E, etc., like anything like that?
If I have access to them, I might use them. But if I'm doing a mix where I know there's going to be revisions, I'm not going to put it on the board.
Oh no, but like plugin wise.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Still use them to this day.
Oh yeah, for sure. I use the channel G, the 4000G, because SSLs there's like a G, there's an E, J, and then there's a K, the newest ones.
X also.
E, yeah, and then the X is like the half digital, half analog. But the popular ones on plugins are E, G, and J. I like the G because it's like an older console and they emulate like a warmer sound. But yeah, I definitely use like the EQ on SSL channel strips, and sometimes like the compressor as well. But I really like the sound of the EQ.
Yeah, just last thing, I mean, I'm not endorsed by these guys, but what I like about this is they have a drive knob, bro.
Oh,
so
cool.
Like, I'll have the SL, yeah, so I'll have like the 4000 channel strip, bro, and just like run up the drive and you could hear the harmonics and everything just bust through. Like it's so good.
It's hard. So any plugin or any hardware where you can get like a saturation, I'm all for it, because unless it sounds like it's distorting. If you can get clean harmonics from any plugin, like that's a useful plugin. You know what I mean? Because you can always add a little bit of it and then add different plugins with saturation, and they all color the song in a different way, so it fills up a lot of space. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think like for all the people that aren't into engineering in the chat, the most important thing, maybe you could correct me, is distortion and saturation, like hands down, I think.
For what specifically though?
Just like in general, like adding tone and character and just like kind of how you said, like the loudness and just like punching through little frequencies of the mix.
I fuck with saturation. I'm not a huge fan of distortion, just because it can get ugly really quick. You know what I mean? So distortion on maybe my 808s, but nothing other than that. That's just my opinion.
Hey, I mean, your opinion is more valid than mine, obviously. So appreciate
everyone's opinion is valid, bro. You can learn from anybody.
Humble. Yes, sir. Oh, one last thing. I swear, just one last thing. Don't be afraid to jump out and be uncomfortable. Like I sent in an application to an internship at a studio in Houston. I'm based in Texas. This was like a year ago. I know way more than I did before. I got rejected. Instead of taking it bad, I kind of like, I studied the engineers that are in that studio and the sound that they're going for and what I necessarily did wrong. Cause I didn't really know about leveling that well. Like I was just like, yo, I could engineer, you know, like fuck it, I could mix. But level is a big thing to it too. So they just didn't even hit me up. And then I joined a beat contest, didn't do that good. Like, but it's progress, you know, like you can't go, you gotta be kind of how you said, like, it's good to be uncomfortable. And I'm okay with failing. Like you have to be okay with it. You feel me?
Big fact.
The more you overcome failure, the more you can do it again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, I sent you a DM, bro. I'm gonna just hop off, let everyone else hop on, bro. So Dylan, appreciate you as always, bro. You're my big bro.
Alrighty, bro. Appreciate the love, man.
Yes, sir. Later, guys.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, we appreciate your time so greatly this morning, man. A lot of gems, man. Definitely, this has been one of my favorite ones by far, bro.
Yeah,
from the story. Say it again.
I'll still be asleep, so hey, you got me.
Yeah, we're in that bonus time. That bonus time. But yeah, man. Like I said, man, just much appreciation and appreciate everything, bro.
That goes both ways, man. I appreciate you having me, man.
Yes, sir, man.
Platform for good. Like I fuck with that.
It's all love, man. Appreciate that. All right, man. I'll let you go get a little 30 minutes in or something like that. Get a little nap. Are you up?
I'm motivated. I'm inspired now, so I'm about to like go do something I probably haven't done in a while. Go jogging or something.
Get it in, man. Get it in. It's important.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you for having me, dog.
Yes, sir, man. All right, man. Take it easy, bro.
All right, bro. Peace.
Yes, sir. Hey, man. Fire episode, man. Fire episode. That was so well needed. Bro, I can't believe it took us this long to get an engineer on the show, man. Especially like looking at all those Producergrind podcast episodes. And we got a couple more in the cut too. And like I said, man, shout out to Leno for bringing this up, introducing me, plugging me in, getting this lined up. And that's for anyone in the community, man. If you guys got some guests in mind, if you guys know some guys that'll bring a lot of value to the show, definitely either shoot me a DM or right now I'm definitely getting back to the text. So if you're here now, man, shoot me a text 404-737-1304. Just text early gang so I can put you on the early gang list. Like I said, we got some special stuff for the early gang. And but yeah, man, hit me up. It's a real text message. When you get the text, you'll get a little bot that'll be like, yo, welcome to the text, man. Appreciate you texting me. And then there'll be a link to a little form you fill out. Give us some information so you can be added to the contact list. And then any message that you put, any message that you send will come back to me directly. Now I'm gonna be clear and upfront. I won't be able to get back to everyone. But as of right now, man, as of yesterday, I've been getting back to like 90% of the people. And then also there will be some text blasts too. So it's more than just, one-to-one text. I'll also be, texting out, some exclusive links to some of our free kits. I'll send you links and reminders when we're doing our contest, when we got, dope interviews and dope episodes coming out. So definitely go ahead and join the text gang, 404-737-1304. And like I said, just shoot me early gang and shoot me a little message. And yeah, so appreciate everyone one more time, man. It's been a fire episode. Shout out to David Young, man. David Yungin Kim, fire episode, man. We appreciate everything. But shout out to the early gang. We out. Oh yeah, episode 22, man. 20 episodes deep. This is our 4th week. 4 weeks in a row of Monday through Friday. Every single day is lit, man. Appreciate you guys. Shout out to the early gang.